Just under 2 years ago, I took the biggest risk of my life coming out here to Bangkok, Thailand with $1,500 to my name, no income whatsoever, with just a plan of being able to unlock a life on my own terms, which I've been able to do now, but back then, wasn't looking that hopeful, just because after a few months of coming out here, went flat broke and had a fast. It was a very hard time. I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I'm just hoping to inspire a few of you guys who are maybe watching this who have that desire to create that life for yourself, but maybe it just seems too risky. But honestly guys, if I can do it, you can too. I'm pretty retarded. So I mean, if I'm able to come out here with $1,500, no income whatsoever, very limited skills that I was able to acquire from a fake guru and still able to create the life of my dreams, you can too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So first off, I'm gonna go over the exact situation I was in back home in Noonan, Georgia. It was a very small town, very limited people were trying to do what I was trying to do. So I knew I had to get out of that to surround myself with people making 10K, 50K, 100K a month online. So that way I could surround myself with people that were levels above me. So that way I could ultimately level up myself. So I mean, the best place I thought to go was Bangkok, just because it was cheap, the weather was good, I could tan every day, I could live and survive for a lot longer than, let's just say, Dubai or Miami, where it's a lot higher cost of living. And if you fail, it's a lot more punishing than out here in Bangkok, because out here, if you have like $1 to your name, you can still go to the 7-Eleven and get some rice, some water, and still keep going towards where you want to go in life. But at the time back home in the States, I was only working 2 9-to-5s, one at racetrack as a clerk and then one at the restaurant as a server. And with the very limited knowledge and skills that I had, the only goal I had was to just try different online businesses, which obviously failed just because I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have the skills needed to succeed, and I was just simply stuck because I mean, I was surrounded by people who were just drinking, partying, smoking. They weren't really trying to do anything with their lives. And additionally, I was, at home with my parents, everything was paid for, the food was always on the table. I didn't have that pressure I needed in order to create the man that I needed to be in order to unlock the life of my dreams. And with trying all of these different online businesses that ultimately failed, it always led me back to $0 to my name. And after hitting this point where I just really felt stuck, that's when I was at the coffee shop with my friend who's like 60 years old. He's this ex-drug dealer. He knew of my plans to come out here to Thailand to make it work. So, I mean, he knew I was flat broke as well. So he was like, Ryan, I know you want to go out to Thailand. I know you're pretty much broke right now, trying all these different things, none of them working. So if you need any money, let me know. So I was like, you know what? Can I just borrow like 1,500 USD? I can pay you back in a year, no problem. And he was like, cool. Apple paid me 1,500 and I was on my way to the airport, booked my one-way flight, and on I was on the hero's journey. So on the airport and on the plane, I was more excited and curious than scared and nervous, because I mean, it's just a new world. Coming out here to Bangkok, all across the world from my hometown, it's just a whole new reality. Like, it's not like just a few hometowns, a gym, and that's it, because that's exactly what my hometown was. No one was really moving around. There's nothing really exciting going on. And coming out here to Bangkok, where there's always something going on, the city never sleeps, and just surrounding myself with people always on the move, always on the go, always working, always grinding, that was exactly what I wanted. So I was very excited. And on the plane ride over here, it was like a 22-hour flight. I had to stop in Turkey for a little bit, like a little bit of a layover. I had no service, no Wi-Fi whatsoever. All I had was that Notes app on my phone where I was just planning out everything, planning out my goals, all that type of stuff. And pretty much just did that the entire flight. I did not even sleep one bit, just because the nerves were getting to me. I was very excited. There's no way I was going to sleep. It's already hard enough for me to sleep on planes anyway. So just jotting down everything that I had in store in my mind of like what I was going to do, what I was planning to accomplish, how I was going to do it. I was just jotting away on my Notes app, just planning out as best as I could. But the thing is, it's just like Mike Tyson says, like you can prepare as much as you want for a fight, but until you get hit in the face, the plan kind of goes out the window. You have to kind of freestyle and improvise your way to win that fight. And that's exactly how this was kind of planned out and how it actually executed when coming out here to Bangkok. It was exactly that. So when I first landed here in Bangkok, the first thing I did, of course, was book an Airbnb for like 4 days where I would just be able to grind away on the offer that I was on as an appointment setter for this B2B business, for this roofing marketing agency, and just cold calling away all night pretty much. From like 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. I was cold calling, setting 3 to 5 appointments every single night. And at first I was very hopeful that this offer would provide me very steady, consistent income that would be able to provide me and sustain myself out here in Bangkok, Thailand. But after a few weeks, I obviously, sorted out the 12-month lease for my first apartment, which was like $350 a month with rent. That offer went out the window. After setting at least 50 to 60 appointments, I got a flat $0 from those sets, just because the closer the closer was actually the agency owner, and he just never showed up to the calls, didn't close any deals, so that led me flat broke. So yeah, after a few months of, just grinding away on this offer, I was like, look, I'm not making any money from this offer. I need to leave it and find something new, something that will actually sustain myself and provide myself the ability to create the life of my dreams. And throughout this time of landing here in the Airbnb, booking my first apartment and moving over, I actually met the girlfriend that I have right now, I think the second or third night at that Airbnb. So after meeting her, doing some cardio, I liked her a lot. So I just kept her by my side, and looking back on it, it probably wasn't the best financial move to make, but realistically, I think it was the necessary move to make, because I liked her so much. I would do anything to stay to make it work so that way I could be with her. And I'm still with her now after almost 2 years. And after leaving that offer and using the method that I now teach my students in Living Unchained to help them get to $10,000 a month anywhere in the world with remote sales, I was able to find the next goldmine offer. Well, actually the first goldmine offer, which was on this day trading offer for this very big YouTuber. He has over 1 million followers across all different platforms. So yeah, in the first few months of leaving the offer, the $1,500 was dwindling down very fast, just because I was spending my money on my current girlfriend, on my rent, the electricity bills, networking with very high level individuals, and it was not looking good, just because I had no idea where the next paycheck was coming from, how I was going to pay for rent, food, my girlfriend, and everything in between. So that's when panic started to kick in. The scarcity mindset was creeping in. The NPC headspace was getting the best of me. I was like, man, I'm so hopeless. I can't get any money coming in. I can't even get $10 in a day, which is pretty sad looking back on it. But that's when I realized this scarcity mindset wasn't doing anything beneficial for me, because I was so worried about what was going to go wrong that I could never focus on what could go right. So being able to transition from that mindset into the abundance mindset after hitting rock bottom, having $0 to my name, having to fast for 4 days, when I lost all hope, that's when I realized that the only way to go from the bottom was up. So I started, just focusing on my habits, going to the gym, focusing on my outreach, and just doing everything I could each and every single day. I was finally able to land my first goldmine offer with this day trading mentor on YouTube. He has over 1 million followers across all platforms, and that's when I finally was able to make my first few dollars online. And I'll give you guys a quick story on how I made my first $250 in commission. And this offer was brand new. So I was literally calling as an appointment setter the first few dials, and this was the brand new grand opening of the offer. The first night anyone was making any calls, no one closed any deals yet. And I was dialing the first few people, no answers. Finally someone picked up, and luckily enough for me, this was the hottest lead you could ever think of. I was calling him, and right when I told him who I was working with, he was like, look man, I'm having all these problems with day trading. I have no success. I'm losing all hope. And I was looking at the offer stack, and I was looking at all the problems he had, and I was just connecting the dots, and I was like, well, this guy's a perfect fit for the mentorship. And I was a setter at the time. I wasn't supposed to be closing any deals, but everything just lined up so perfectly. I was hungry. The sun was rising. It was almost time to, end the day and go to sleep. So I was like, look, man, it's 2,500 USD to pay for the mentorship and whatnot. And he was like, okay, done. PayPal this guy 2,500, and I got $250 in commission. And the sales manager at the time, he knew of my situation. He's a very good guy. I can maybe say his name, Chris. And pretty much he PayPal'd me another $50 just for getting the first close and for some extra money for food. And that's when I realized, okay, well, this online money thing is not a scam. I actually made it work. I got my first sale, and then it just went uphill from there. But how I felt at this moment, it was pretty much, I was looking at the sunrise, a tear went down my eye. I was like, oh my gosh, this reality is finally here. And the lesson I learned is pretty much if you want to get something in life, if you want to achieve this life of being able to travel, live life on your own terms, and do what you truly want to do in this life is going to test you. The universe is going to throw you a bunch of obstacles, because everyone probably wants this life to be able to travel, make money online, and to live on your own terms. But if it was that easy, everyone would be living this life. It's going to be extremely hard. and it's gonna test you. And if you don't pass the test, if you fail, if you give up, you're gonna just go back to ground zero. You're gonna go back to the 9 to 5, and that's not even that bad. So why fear failure? And that was my mindset as well. It's just because, like, if you fail, don't look at it as the end all be all, that you have to go back, you have to give up, go back to the 9 to 5 where it's a very safe and secure income or salary. Just use this failure as a lesson on what not to do next time, and just to mold your inputs until they hit the right mark and you're able to achieve the right inputs that are able to provide you steady income with whatever business model it is. For me, just remote sales is best, just because I think it's the quickest way to make your first $10,000 online, which I've been able to do myself and teach many others how to do the exact same thing. And I mean, it just took time, consistency, and finding the right inputs in order to make it work. Because I mean, I could have just gave up after I went flat broke, told my girlfriend goodbye, I failed, see you later, and just went back home to my parents where everything would be paid for. I could go back to racetrack, go back to Red Lobster. But the thing is, you just have to tell yourself that you're gonna make it work no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how long you have to fast. And the thing with Bangkok as well is, like, you can go flat broke and still find enough money on the street to go buy some rice and water at 7-Eleven. So I mean, failure, it shouldn't be that scary, especially going flat broke. Ever since going flat broke the first time, I've gone flat broke at least 4 or 5 times. Like one time after my bank account froze in Bali, where I had, like, I think a few $1,000s in my Revolut account. They froze my account for whatever reason. I have no idea to this day. They closed my account. Couldn't even touch the money. So I was flat broke in Bali. My parents lended me some money to come back here to Bangkok. And I also had $36 in my crypto, because I tried crypto and obviously did not work out. I put, like, I think a few $1,000s in. You know, I was trading meme coins on the base chain, and yeah, gambled a bit and did not work out whatsoever. But I still had $36 in crypto, and I came back out here. The Revolut account was frozen. Rent was coming up. My girlfriend was back over, and I had $36 to my name again. So what I did, I do not recommend this, by the way, but I just got extremely lucky. I went on Roobet, which is this gambling site, put this $36 in on Plinko, and within like 10 minutes, I turned $36 into over $600. And that was another time I went broke. So that's 2 times. And then a third time I went broke was when I was in Dubai, you know, driving the Lamborghini, the McLaren, the Corvette, the C8, with my boys, Jake, Tanner, and Alex. Pretty much spent all my money on these cars. The very nice Airbnb we stayed at, which was this fire penthouse in a very big building in Dubai. And just, you know, splurged away all of my money that I was making. And pretty much we plan to go back to Bangkok just because a few things happened with the cars, which I won't disclose in this video, but let's just say there's a lot of speeding fines, a few damages. But yeah, booked a one-way flight back here to Bangkok, Thailand with the last bit of money that I had. And then at the airport, I was going on the flight back here to Bangkok, which unfortunately I had to go through India, which was the biggest regret of my life. Why would I ever go there? But yeah, I booked a one-way flight to Bangkok, which had a layover in India. And then apparently you need an e-visa to go to India. So at the airport, they denied me access to even get on the plane just because I didn't have this visa sorted out. So with no dollars to my name, stuck at the airport, the police might have just come and got me if I went back to the Airbnb. I knew I had to figure out a way to go back, but then I remembered. I closed a $10,000 deal for one of my friends of the offers that I was working on, and I had that commission from there. So he usually pays me on a 2-week basis, but just because of that dire situation I was in, I let him know, yo man, I'm broke in the airport in Dubai, and I need the commission straight away. And he sent it, was able to book another one-way flight to Bangkok, and was able to make it here. Now, I think those are the only times I went completely broke in a very hopeless situation, was able to still get out of it. So I mean, if that doesn't inspire you to go after your dreams, because going broke, it's not that bad, especially after going through the first few times, just look at them as lessons on what not to do next time. Start saving a little bit more, put it like 30% into a savings account, which I'm doing now. So I haven't gone broke ever since then. And yeah, those are just lessons that I learned that have taught me to not spend everything and to save as much as you can just for the dark, stormy days. So yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for this story. The pretty much biggest lesson here is that you need to go after what you want, and when you do, expect a lot of obstacles, expect a lot of failures, because they will happen, expect them, but then realize that you just need to overcome those obstacles, learn from those failures, and to keep going no matter what until you achieve what you want. So without without wasting more time, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.